Hang on, I gotta try to figure out this audio mess. This is only the second time I've tried this, so I ain't got a clue what I'm doing.
First, you're the first.
So I need this on control room. That there. Yeah, I'm not sure about the audio. Because if I do, I may have to try to play with it on the phone and the computer. This is all. Hey, Danny, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm just doing this on the phone, so I'm wondering, can you hear me?
I hear you good.
Right. I was thinking to keep my tablet handy for any comments so I can read it.
Enough, Remy. Neighbors' dogs are howling. I got our dogs howling.
Oh, the neighbor's dog.
Yeah, they're a couple acres over.
Couple of acres. My neighbor's
Yeah,
over there. 50 centimeters over there.
we got a couple acres. Each house has got a couple acres.
Oh, it's got to be nice. I'm trying to keep this thing handy. Oh, it's got to be nice. Because otherwise I can't read it.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. Because since we had Munchkin this weekend, since her baby brother was born a couple days ago, I have little fingerprints all over my glasses. So I can't see a thing.
I'm seeing a Danny over here. Hi, Danny. Does help if you see something.
Oh, actually, we can add that. Easy way to find it is oops. Make sure I spelled it right. Oh, and I don't think I can do a picture on this. I think it's only. I go back here, hit this. So if you go in the top search bar, type it in, it'll be the second one down that actually says D.J.AARTS.
Yeah, well, that's my name.
Yeah, because when you actually type it in, there's somebody that says random Dutch guy on YT. That's usually the first one that populates.
Yeah, I found out there's a couple of random Dutch guys.
Oh. Easy way to find it. It's got an anvil with a fish and a beer. That's the easiest way to spot it.
Yeah, just to be safe, I brought the beer.
I'm gonna have coffee, cold coffee, because with little one here, my wife's already on the over there at their house. So when I'm done with this, I gotta pack the car up with other stuff and haul it over there because she brought him home from the hospital today.
But I trust it all went well.
Everything's good. So that will be in a few years. I'll have 2 monsters running around the shop. I know what this one is under all that rust and crust, only because of the Diamond W. So
I actually found something today in a pile just here. I always hear you guys talking about this brand, and I always think, well, it must be a nice brand, but I don't know it. Turns out I have something. I found this. And because it's a bit inverted, you probably won't be able to see, but can you make it out?
that looks hot. Is that the guy? Is that Plum?
No, it's it actually says Bonnie.
Oh my gosh! At first I was thinking Bonnie House, but it's hard to see because I'm on the little screen, my main screen, whatever locked up. Hey, Rusty Daves, thank you. It's gonna be a blast when in a few years when he's out here doing projects with me. And I'll send you a email when I finally get everything. Well, actually, I'll give you a peek at what finally showed up.
What's that?
That is
A poker chip.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Poker
cool.
chip I had made for the channel.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here because it's slightly bigger.
So,
actually, one of my other hobbies, playing poker.
So yeah, that was one of those. I got a couple little things that I was supposed to be sending out, but they got delayed because my stickers showed up late. Those showed up late, and then grandson showed up early because he's about a month early.
Oh, that's
so everything kind of smashed all within a couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't have any of that stuff yet, but I just picked something up today. It's in the back here, but it's inverted. Buddy of mine made this little light box.
Sweet. I haven't done one yet. I'll give you a little sneak peek. That used to be, oops. I used to have these junk boxes full of wrenches and stuff that collapsed, but that is a Bamboo Labs P2S. So I got a 3D printer now.
It's going to be officially unveiled at some point.
Well, this box has to be completed. I need to get it cleaned up, done, because when it gets put in position, it will set. That'll actually sit on it. Then I can get it wired up, get everything set. So I've been chomping at the bit because of that needing to be done to get that project done, and everything seems to be out of control. But isn't that the story of my life?
Oh, well. Keeps you busy. You know, the other time when you were live, when I spoke to you about this, I talked to you a little bit about the perfect handle stuff I like.
Mm-hmm.
I got this.
Oh, sweet. I've never seen one like that. Oh, I lost you. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never seen one. Never seen one like that. I've never seen it. That is wild.
A little hammer, beer opener, Something to pull nails, little hatchet, and a screwdriver.
That is wild.
Supposed to be from the 1940s, something. No idea what to do with it, but if you see something cool like this, I just have to take it.
It's got to go on the wall.
Yeah, I got to make a wall of fame for all the stuff I'm not using but sleeping.
Oh, I've got drawers full of stuff like that. Resto Rob video hasn't been released because it comes out tomorrow. But I know in one of my lives we were talking about odd gimmicky tools, and it had the infamous gator grip, and then I was talking about the Fisker's little hand drill. And I thought back when I was younger, my dad had from the 80s, he had what was called a screwball. And I missed it. Well, I got a package from Resto Rob with a couple wrenches and some stickers. And he sent me the screwball. So you put it holds 3 little magnetic bits. I started cleaning it up just a little bit. It's just got to be careful with the plastic because it's 40 years old, but it's ratcheting. And I remember doing projects with my dad and him letting me play with this versus other tools because he knew I liked it because it ratcheted.
I don't really see those over here. We get something like it, but not like that. It's just like really a ball where you just stick something in and it doesn't ratchet at all. It just breaks.
That's why I like my vessels. Just jam a bit into them and get a hold. So, Denny, you found 3 proto click stops. Wow. I haven't seen one yet. At least not in this area. But then again, I live out in the country, so don't have too many opportunities other than traveling and driving.
Yeah. Last place I bought something was actually 150 meters that way. I didn't even know about it. I was driving around and I saw something. I'm like, oh shit, I need to go in there.
$1 each, dude. You stole it. That's my kind of deal. That's the kind of deals I do. I work. Holy cow. Hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll be able to get out and oh, I heard something.
Probably my phone.
I don't know. I've got so many things going on here. It's hard to tell. Yeah, this is not gonna be easy. Time to go on a get over to the disaster area. Goodness, I can't read.
Yeah. There's this crazy kid in the comments who says he knows me.
Yeah, look at the name.
For some reason, he has the same last name.
Yeah, I was gonna say just coincidental.
Not too much, but
We can do something with that rusty mess.
you'll make short work of that one.
Oh, she's gonna clean up really good. That good old steel. Not gonna need to do a whole lot with that so you make it look nice. I can't say too much because I did get this wrench for less than $1.
I keep watching what you're doing on the tablet because the phone is just a little bit too far away for my glasses. So Danny wanted, no, he took three, a set for 75. Sounds okay.
Try not to get myself tangled up. See whether I did something good or bad. Everybody's going to end up dizzy with bouncing around. Okay. Yeah, 3 SK sets, but 1 set of 5. Yeah, some people just want way too much for things they got. I don't know. I guess they think that if it's got rust on it, that means it's gold.
Yeah. Last market I went to, I actually, for the first time ever, saw a snap-on wrench in the flesh, which must be odd for you guys because, well, you see them all the time. I never see them. And it was in a big pile of other stuff. And I said, how much do you want? And he said, yeah, 10 euros a piece. I went like, well, no. It was this big.
Bad, but it's not great unless it's. I've seen some of the snap-on stuff go crazy price, but unless it was in an exceptional condition, no.
No, it needed a lot of work.
Yeah, then no, because well, I don't know if you saw what came out of that toolbox, but 5-gallon bucket. It was 3/4 full with nothing but snap-on and proto professional sockets in it. And this is some of the smaller sockets that were in it.
The smaller, okay.
Yeah, well, I do have some small ones like just deep wells, but most of them were a large chunk of them were up around the 1.25 to 2-inch diameter sockets. The guy was that had this box. This box came from DuPont. It was an industrial cart. So I wanted the box because I figured it'd be cool to clean up old wrenches, put them away, and have somewhere to that had a little dent and ding and rust and crust on the box, just make it look pretty, not perfect. But then all of a sudden I started digging tools out of it, and I'm going, okay, I got way too many tools. I have a 27-gallon tote completely filled with tools that came out of that. I got 3 more 5-gallon buckets. That's nothing but hardware.
So that's a couple of hundred videos worth.
Yes. Well, I did videos on just emptying that box for hey Don, how's it going? Be safe. Hope your weather's getting better.
Sorry, I'm thirsty.
Yep, my squirrels ran away. My squirrel went out the door. Yeah, I don't know. They might come back. I don't know if they'll come back today, tomorrow, or what. I'll probably wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then remember what I was thinking. That's just the way it is.
So I see Danny asking, what kind of wrenches do you have? Well, we don't have a lot that you guys have. I mean, that Bonnie thing I just showed you was the only one I ever saw. Saw my first live snap on just last week or 2 weeks ago. Here we have well, a whole host of different brands, just not the same ones. I guess shipping them back and forth, they get too heavy or something. I don't know.
I have found one footprint from England. I've only found one over here. Uh, but I got an assortment of tools scattered from all over the world.
Got a couple of Russian wrenches for some reason. Old ones who still say USSR.
Oh, I have a revolver that I acquired. Oh, well, actually, I acquired two officer revolvers. One says is stamped USSR. The other one was FS. Oh, geez, was it FSFSR? Whatever it was prior to the USSR. So it would have been early 1900s, right before it became the USSR, and it had a totally different stamp pattern on it. I didn't notice it. I just saw that they were old, and I thought it'd be cool, and I cleaned them up. And then I'm looking at them, I'm like, "Where's that come from?" Had to do a little digging. I said, "Oh, this is old."
Sometimes that's half of the fun, not knowing what it is and then finding out.
Oh, like the I just cleaned it up. It was my short, I think, from this morning. Completely rusted out little chisel, and come to find out, it ended up being a Circle G series Craftsman, which is from the 1950s. I thought it was just a 90s 2000 one till I got into the rust, and I looked and I was like, "Whoa, check that out!" I had another. Oh yeah, it was this one I cleaned up, completely rusted out. I just gambled on it because of how thick it was and the rough shape. Couldn't find out it was Vielchek or Velchek, Valchek. I'm not sure how people pronounce it. Oh, we get a whole lot of from in my area. It's harder for me to find the older uh, tool companies. I know we got guys up in New York, New Jersey, Kansas, Alabama. Seems like they find them all day long. Uh,
It's a bit hit or miss over here. You find a lot of really crappy tools that were like cheap when they started out 30 years ago. Well, I don't bother with those because you can use them once or twice and then they're a different size.
oh, I got my share of them. Those are the ones I let those are the ones I let the kids use because they like to also turn around and use them as a hammer, or they try to put a cheater on it and cause it to change directions.
Find one, but let's see.
But yeah, we got we do have we do get a wide variety from all over the world. They're just not as easy to identify. Some of them are kind of common, some are not. Uh, but as I watch people from all over the world, then I start catching names. And then as I see that they look at the name and oh yeah, no, they'll scrap it and move on, or they'll turn around and say, "Oh nope, I'm keeping this one." That's a haha. Okay, store that name in the index. So if I stumble into it, most people aren't going to pay attention to it. I could probably get it dirt cheap.
I found this one on a holiday last year.
Mm-hmm.
Just I thought it was almost like comically sized. It's weird. It had some markings on it. Turns out you need this if you have a special kind of boat for the engine. If you have to tighten something.
Yeah, you got to get in that little narrow gap, almost like a tappet wrench.
If you don't have this one and your boat's not running correctly, apparently you need to find one of these. I just thought it was a funny size.
I've got a pretty good size engineer's wrench. I just don't remember where I put it. It's about so tall. It's a 2-inch engineer's wrench. I think I know where I put it. Fun part of having a disaster is where you source.
At least you have a lot of space.
Bigfoot size wrench.
Yeah, you don't want to drop that one on your foot.
No, but it will correct some attitudes. I remember. Oh, I was up in Pennsylvania last May. At a massive flea market-y swap meet that called Jacktown, and I saw it. It was only $20, and I told my wife, I said, I gotta have it just because of its size. I'll never need it, but I gotta have it. I can clean it up, maybe hang it on the wall. I don't know. I've ended up acquiring more and more bigger and bigger wrenches over the last year. Uh, I got stuff 1.5 up to 2 inches now. Oh, awesome! That's prior to that's back when it's hard. Hey, brain's not functioning. Uh, no set size. Uh, that was before everything got standardized to one set size pattern. Uh, I got the chunky wrenches. I can't find them probably because I put them away. But I've got chunky wrenches that all have the same size on them, but they're actually different because the bolt heads or nuts were different.
That's helpful.
But that's cool because that's an old Bonnie that's USS.
Neighbor's dog's back.
Yeah. Somebody was problem with living out here out in the country is when big heavy trucks roll by, even though they are a quarter mile away out down the driveway, is that noise travels. So as soon as that deep semi truck engine rumbles, I got a 6-year-old chocolate lab. He barks at everything.
My dog's just asleep.
I think Rocky would bark at his own shadow if he saw it. So, got to tidy the inside of this one up. Oh. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't, Denny, I'm not sure if I even have any Bonnies that are USS. I think all of mine are just after the standardization. So that's pretty cool. That's wild. Now, the person to ask would be Resto Rob because he knows everything about Bonnie, pretty much. I'd say 99% everything about Bonnie.
What would USS stand for then?
Jeez. I think that was, what was it? United States standardization or something like that, but there was no standardization back then. Oh,
Here we just have metric, so it's all centimeters and millimeters, so everything's
oh, it's unified special sizing. That's what it is. Standardization came after it. Unified special sizing. So the way I always looked at those is they created a wrench for whatever size nut or bolt head they needed. So early 1900s, late 1800s, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's pretty old.
Denny, I agree with you. I think the sizes they have is for the size of the bolt or nut head or the bolt, but there was no standardization on. So you could have the same diameter bolt shaft, the same thread pitch, but the bolt head could be 6 different sizes. And I think that's what the USS was for, is to adjust to the different size bolt heads or the different size nuts, because some of them would be small, say on a quarter 20, but then you could have some that might be oversized for a quarter 20. I have some older machine thread small nuts for old electronics, vacuum tubes era electronics, and the thickness of the wall, not the depth, but the thickness side to side from the opening, is almost 2.5 times as thick as a standard nut. So that means that nut is not your standard quarter 20 nut where you would have your normal size wrench hit it. You have to have a wrench that's just a little bit thicker or a little bit bigger opening to work on.
You need a
Oh my
big tool
gosh, could you?
around to have all the correct sizes.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Because you got to think the toolboxes back then were wood, and they hauled those things around by hand. So I guess on an industrial platform, I guess it's oh, that would be crazy to have all those variations and varieties. Oh, could, that's probably why they so many years ago they had those well, I guess you call them tool boards, peg boards, where it would have the outline and a specific size put on it. So like combination wrenches, you have 6 millimeter up to 32 millimeter, and it would have them in order and say that. But back then, oh, I'm sure they had all sorts of designations so that they could be hung on the wall. Then you knew what you had to get by the designation.
Yeah, that's all fine in the shop, but if you're working somewhere on the job site, hey, get me that wrench. Which one? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one over there, or the one that fits this.
the big ass one.
And that's where you do like you see a lot of people do, or younger people. They just got a bag full of stuff and they just pull a handful out and they play a hide and seek game until, nope, close. Nope, that's the one. They definitely were not working flat rate. Not back then.
That's why they invented the adjustables, I guess.
I got a wizard lobster claw. It's my very first one. Not sure I want to take it apart because I don't want to have to try to repaint the end of the threads. I'm not good at that yet.
You get that sometimes. You see a tool, say, oh, that's nice to work on, but then you go, I can take it apart. I can clean it. But then
I have a Klein tools, but this is I carefully knocked the edging off of it so I could get this off, but now it will not go back on. So I think when it got put on at some point in time in the past, it buggered up the threads on the bottom so that it was only holding with the threads on the top half, uh, which is no big deal. I'm not worried about it. Even though it's Klein, it came out of the box. So all the tools I got out of the box, the vise on it, and all the tools ended up costing me about 25 cents a piece. Included, yeah. So I got 25 cents for that snap-on box, 25 cents for the vise, and then the sockets, wrenches, and all that. I got 1.5 combination wrenches out of that box too. So came out to about 25 cents a piece. So I was like, oh, I did good. I cleaned up 4 wrenches, larger wrenches that are even in use state are worth more than what I paid for the entire box and contents.
That's always good. I when I drove to work, I came past a farmhouse, stopped there because he had like a ton of for sale signs, like really stupid, like about 12 different for sale signs. So I guess he was selling something. So I went in there and this guy was sleeping in the sun. And I saw some tools lying about, but then I go like, okay, this guy's about 80, 85, sleeping in the sun. Do I wake him?
Do I give him a heart attack?
Yeah, but then he woke up on its own, and I bought some stuff there, and it was crazy. He had a little toolbox with some tools in it. I said, "What do you want?" He said, "Oh, give me €5 for it." So I go, "Oh, okay, for everything? Yeah, sure." So I grabbed a really big adjustable wrench, and if I add this, he went like, "Yeah, still 5." Oh, can I look around a bit? Yeah, sure. I took an axe. That was a beautiful axe head, but it only had a handle this big. They cut it off, and there was duct tape around it. Okay, if I add this one, yeah, still $5. And I kept going a while, but then I thought, like, if I keep going like this, I'm gonna end up buying the whole damn farm for $5. So he might be still half asleep. So I said, well, thank you. I went away. I cleaned up the axe, did a little video on it. But then I don't really need axes over here. Um, I like to keep a couple because you never know. And it was stamped 1942 and some kind of little logo on it. So I thought, oh, it might be something special. I put it up for sale online. This guy came over and he had a suit on that says tree surgeon. Oh, okay, he knows axes, I guess. So we came in and they said, can I have a look at it? So, yeah, sure. I put a new handle on it, but I made it look old. I burned the handle a bit, oiled it, and it looked the part. Sharpened it just a little bit, and I gave it to him, and it was like I was handing him like the Declaration of Independence. He went like, "Oh," looked at it, and his eyes went all big, and he said, "What do you want for it?" So I went like 95, and like in a quarter second, sold. Crap, should have said more.
It's funny
Turned out
because
it was
that's
special or
all it
something.
takes is one name for somebody to see, and they know what it is. I snagged. Actually, it's over there. Uh, I got basically a new. I got a New Britain impact socket that's an excellent. Just needs a gunk peeled off it, but other than that, it's in perfect shape. And I know that's from the design on it. I knew it was from the 40s. So my grandfather made a hodgepodge. I don't use it, and I probably should. Oh, I
It's
got
clear
the
you're much bigger than
crust and
mine.
crud off it. Look at the head on that and this little tiny handle.
Yeah.
But it's a plum. and I know plum from hammers, ball peen hammers primarily. I had no idea that plum uh, also did axe and hatchet hits. I've been meaning to. I watched two guys, Lionhead Restoration and Redbeard. I can't remember the rest of his channel name, but they work on axes. I've been meaning to send them uh, send them a picture of it. See if they know more information because definitely outside my wheelhouse. Let me try to get this as Dirty Nails.
That's the master
I think
work.
it's Dirty Nails is the one that said that he was being a dentist in the last day or two. That he was talking to the ranch kind of like a dental hygienist, saying that his teeth were good. And I thought about it. I said, he's right on the money because those are teeth inside there on the 6 point or 12 point.
You even sound like a dentist.
Hmm?
You even sound like a dentist now. Niet, 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 niet.
Oh, you got to hear the angry mosquito. Let me switch it over to the angry mosquito. Got to figure out what I did with it. I got 18.6 million things going on. So now I can change it out. This been around about 35 years. It's seen better days. Definitely seen better days. It's I've replaced the brushes in it so many times that I think it's just finally given up. But there we go. The angry mosquito is my little 2050. Oh. There we go. Now I've got the official dentist tool. High speed and
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get some dentist tools.
I'm just worried about what it would cost. I know their stuff's not cheap, especially the because most of their stuff's pneumatic anyways. Well, I know a lot of the dentist stuff that used to be pneumatic. I don't know what they are now.
Yeah, but maybe like the bits they used, they seem to cut really well. So,
That would be great. Yeah, get in the little tiny areas. But it would also mean that I'd be more nitpicky than I already am. Then he's watched me work. There's times that I get a little too nitpicky.
they don't have to be works of art. They need to still be for some reason.
Uh, yeah, the only bad thing about the little, I think it's called a Stylo Plus Dremel, whatever it is. It's good for the little details. It does not have a lot of torque to it, so it doesn't take much to stop it, and it has a safety built into it that if there's too much load on the little motor, it basically turns itself off to prevent it from, I guess, burning out the motor that's in it, which is good. I have had it at max speed the whole time since I got it. Anything less than max speed just ain't enough to dig in. There we go. Got a Williams super wrench all tidied up.
Yeah, I have to take a look at it a bit closer. There's a little lag on it. I can see myself moving here.
Yeah, that's why I didn't bother looking up at the screen, because through the studio, whatever, I can keep tabs on comments, but I look at the video. According to the video, I'm still holding that big one.
Oh,
So yeah, that's a bad lag because I've already used the little one and I've already cleaned that up.
yeah.
Found this guy on the road a few months ago. Nice
You
solid
find a lot.
brass, nice solid brass plum. Haven't found the correct string to put through it. I know people use whatever they want. My grandfather had stuff. And he said there's actually, from back in his era, uh, there's a specialized string that goes into it because with the knot that you put on the inside of the cap before you screw it down doesn't allow it to shift. It's slick enough, I guess you could say, that it'll allow it to shift and actually allow it to correct its angle. So you're not going to have an angle that is off just by the thickness of a razor blade. It will be dead on accurate. Of course, you look at the way they build stuff today, as long as it's within 45 degrees of straight, they call it good enough.
Just a couple of days ago, I found an old hammer that belonged to my grandfather. I actually almost forgot I had it. And once I found it again, I kind of wondered why. It's not a big one. It's a small hammer. But look at the handle.
Oh, 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 oh. Mm.
And he's no longer around, so I can't ask him. But I was thinking,
they used to stub those hammers because of it wasn't that they needed a big swing. They just needed the weight and the mass,
yeah,
to send it in. So having a small, that would be like getting up. The last time I saw something like that was for an old steam. Oh gosh, I wish Bryce was on, because I think it was an old steam driven tractor. His last time, the handle was probably it was probably the size of a water bottle, so it had a little bit of gapping in it. But it was about a 2.5 pound engineer's mallet head on it, and it was for getting up because they had to get to arm in, get it around, and then they had to do that tap 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 on it to send a pin out. So it's probably something custom like that.
Yeah, it must be special because it's 1,250 grams, but it fits in my hand. I never get to use it, but I keep it around.
But either I moved it or done something with it. I had a small machinist ball peen hammer that George had sent me. A little short one, little short head. I use that thing all the time. Didn't think it would, but that has become the handiest. It used to sit right here all the time. I must have picked it up and needed to use it. Oh, we were talking about perfect handles. I still got. I've cleaned up everything from Petey Pablo, except for I have not worked on that perfect handle. It's 3¼ inches long. The scales are tight. They're in great shape. I just got to get the metal, and then I got to work the wood, and then clean it up. But when it comes to a bottle opener, there's nothing better than a good old wrench turned into a bottle opener. It's a old Billings. He made it for me, but I kind of cringe because it's an old wrench. But because it's an old wrench and a bottle opener, it kind of that's okay. I can accept that.
It evens out.
Yeah. There's another one another older company we deal with, Barklow Buffalo. I cleaned it up and then I cold blued the center line.
Only see those in your videos. I have one left to work on. It's this one.
Oh, I bet that'll clean up good.
It's over there. I think most of the times it's a crescent wrench to you. Here it's a Baco. It's like
I have one Baco. Let me go get it. It's an awesome one. I know other people that find Baco stuff all the time. I only have one. It was actually sent to me by another YouTuber. Actually, it might have been Russell Rob. That Russell Rob always seems to. He knows. I think he has a better inventory of everything I got than I do. Because every time he sends me a little package or something, everything's something new that I don't have, and I've got probably 28 feet worth of toolboxes almost shoulder high to me, and they're full. And because I haven't cleaned this one up yet. He sent me a Suzuki. I've got a Kawasaki wrenches. I've got Hondas from my dad. But here's my Baco that I do have. Obviously, it's got a tire spoon or a hubcap spoon. I think it's a hubcap spoon for popping those old center caps off. It says Volvo on it.
Well, that's about as Swedish as you can get.
So yeah, with that, I'm gonna give it a light cleaning on the main body. Probably blew it because the surface rust is starting to get to this. But I think I'm gonna polish this section up, the actual head. But I finally got a Baco. Most of them that I find over here, people want way too much for them. Because I can actually go online, order them, and have them shipped for about the same price.
I have a couple of them. You know, they are usually not the best tool for the job, but when you're not really sure what you need, it'll do.
Well, at work, I use 6, 8, 10, 12, and 15-inch adjustables. Now, I'm not supposed to tighten connectors with the 10, 12, or 15s. The guys only want me to break connections loose, but not actually tighten the connections. Because when I've used the 12s or the 15s to put connectors on our main line, they end up having to cut the connector out and they have to resplice the section because they can't break it apart. I was like, but it didn't fail. The connector didn't fail. It was what was before or after it that failed, and you're trying to splice out the section point to point. You can't break my splice to replace that other section. George. Hey, hope all's good up there. Glad it's t-shirt weather again. I've had my fill of the snow for this season,
What,
but at least it's not. Huh?
you're still getting snow now?
Not down here, but in Michigan last weekend, the Upper Peninsula, they got almost 3 feet of snow, and they were already at. They already had in areas of the Upper Peninsula. They already had over 25 feet of snow for the 25-26 season.
3 feet of snow hasn't happened here since I've been alive. We get like this much, and everything grinds to a halt.
Oh, I don't know about up there where George is. He's just up the road a few hours, but all it takes is 1 inch. If there's that much snow on the ground, everything's comes to a screeching halt. Now work, I rolled into town. I've got a 30-mile trek in and out of town. We had 16 inches of snow a couple years ago in January. I made it into town on time. Of course, I was born in Michigan, so I don't think about snow. But down here in the Mid-Atlantic and the South, they can't handle it. I got into town. They said, "Yeah, we're suspending operations because if you haven't gotten out of your driveway, because they know I've got a driveway that's almost a quarter mile long. So, 1,300 some feet of driveway. They figure I couldn't get out, and I was like, "You could have called me 2 hours ago. Why? I'm in town. I'm already in the system. I'm ready to work."
Here, this might be. I don't think you get these over there. I have a little vise here. Oh, I say little, but it's heavy. See this? It's
No.
small, but it's really
What's that?
heavy.
What's the company name?
It's called. Yeah, this is a hemklem. It's Dutch. But the thing I like about this, it didn't start as a tool company. Like in the, I think it was like in the 1800s, they made like shells for grenade launchers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then they found out, oh, that's my dog. Then they found out that if we shoot it that way, it goes sort of in that direction. Those shells kind of wobbled all over the place. And they found out they were doing everything correct, but they still didn't get the accuracy for the shells. It just, you know, it landed somewhere over there. Then they found out that the machines they had weren't precise enough. So, if you mill like the head of a grenade and it's off by a couple of
It
millimeters,
follows it. If it starts to wobble or tumble, then it'll veer off everywhere.
yeah, so they started making their own tools. Yeah.
That's like right here. People don't realize, even with velocity, if the tip has got inaccuracies or if it's been seated slightly out, when it goes out, it's going to track the weird way. 22 rounds, little tiny 22 rounds, those are notorious for veering around because they're lead and they got a light crimp in them.
Well, what these guys did is they decided to make their own like lathes and stuff, and they were perfect. The shells went in the right direction and everything, and then they make their own little micrometers to measure everything. And then somebody apparently said, the vices that we buy, they are crap. We wear them out in a month and it's nothing. So decided to make their own vices. But they made them the same way that they made all the other stuff. So they put together a vice and then they send it to a lab to have measured. And if it was off by like a couple of millimeters, it got scrapped. Which was quite expensive for a vice,
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty cool because these things, I have to turn it out a bit. They have like a serial number in here
So you can track the age of it.
because this piece and this piece, they have to have the same number because they are made for each other.
Oh, oh, that's even better yet.
So it's not like you have a big pile of both pieces. No, they belong together. And you're not going to wear that out if you live to be 200 years old.
Oh, George, that's your next project. You need to get one. I know you're going to want one for your shop.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to find, I think. I once saw a video from a guy in the Philippines who had one. This is the smallest one they ever made. He had a bigger one. They are quite old, but by the time this thing is 100 years old, it's probably in the same state as one that you buy new now.
Oh, let's see if I can not cause too big of a earthquake here. Trying to figure about it. That was my grandfather's. It's an old Cleveland vise. This one's been around. This one, it's over 80 years old. And this little guy right here, yeah, I loosely say that considering the size of my hands. This one's over 100 years old. This is my great grandfather's Yost vise. And it needs a little work, and it's even had to have some plugs put into it. And there's the one that, well, if I ever get the toolbox finished, this was a Colombian that somebody had put a serial number on. This will need a full restore. I'll need to clean it up. I won't paint it. I may have to have somebody come paint. I can't paint. My painting is atrocious, but they had put they created aluminum caps on it so it wouldn't crush. So I'm trying to get the toolboxes drawers from looking rough and cruddy like that to nice and clean and shiny again.
Well, you have a ton of work left.
Yeah, but it's 7 drawers. This thing was in horrible shape. It had grime, chemicals, and all sorts of stuff spilt inside. They made their own shell divider storage areas. They used epoxies and silicone and everything else to hold stuff in. I did find because the nameplate was missing, but I did stumble into it when I was hauling out the box. But I do have the nameplate still. The only problem is the plastic pins on the back. They have little squeeze nuts that go inside. So once they go in, they grab it. If the plate gets popped off, it knocks the tip off them. So I think I'm going to end up just taking some 3M body molding tape, line it up, then press it in place. It should hold. Not like I'm going to be working at a shop as a mechanic or anything. It'll just look nice. I'm working on a blacksmith vise right now. Bench mount, very unusual. Cool. Did you see Kurt finally hit 1K? He shot me a message because he couldn't understand why all of a sudden he started getting people saying that they ran into Kurt's page because of me. He didn't see the video where I put the snippet in my video the other day.
What kind of beer am I drinking? Well, because I didn't know how long I was going to be here, I started with a German beer because Germans, they do okay beer, but not too heavy. So I have one of these. Probably why they put it in a big bottle like this, because it's pretty light beer. No idea how much alcohol is in there. Not much.
You know what? Since we're talking about that and doing that, I might as well crack that one open. uh,
When I was looking for a vice for my little shop here, I saw online a guy that said he had a free vice. Well, that's my kind of deal, a free vice. So I said, yeah, I'll come and pick it up. And he said, yeah, I'm not gonna be there, so I'm just gonna put it outside on the street. Okay. Um, and the picture was a bit deceiving online because I drove into his street. It was like 200-300 meters long before I was there, and I could already see the vice on the street. This thing was about like 40 kilos. I was looking for something this size, you know. It turned out to be yeah, bigger than my bench. Um, but it was an old English one from the 1950s. So and it was horrible. So I cleaned it up, just to clean it up actually, because I couldn't use it. So I sold it, and I sold it to a guy who works on old cars that he used to go racing. And he said, "Yeah, this will hold the chassis of the of the car when I'm working on it." That's a pretty impressive vice. I don't like working on stuff that big because if you hit something with it, you'll notice.
oh, I saw somebody. I think it was last fall. One of the one of the guys I was watching. I can't remember offhand who it was. He picked up a vice so big that he actually used a tree stump as his to support the vice. It was that big that he cut a chunk of tree stump, leveled out the bottom, cut it flat on the top to where it would sit in his shop, set it the right height. Then he sealed it. So the vise was that big, he had to have a tree stump because of the sheer weight of the stump to be able to keep it from tipping over. I built one heck of a heavy duty bench. I don't even think mine could handle that because that vise was huge.
Now I had to get rid of it just because it was too big. And then the guy said, "Is it really that heavy?" Because I set it down on the floor for him. I said, "Well, it's that heavy that you're picking it up and putting it in your car." He put it in his car, and the car went down. Yeah, that big is just no use for me. I got a I got a good deal on a little Hoyer front. I don't know if you ever see those.
No.
Those are like really well sought after vices over here. It's uh, it's over here. It's just big enough for my setup. And I saw it online when I was at work, and the guy said I want €5 for it. So I sent him a message. Do you know you have a Hoyer front vice online for €5? He said, yeah. Why? Okay, just as long as you're sure. I want to pick it up. So we made a deal that after work I would drive to his place and pick it up. When I got there, he said, well, I don't know what happened, but you were the first guy to message me. And after that, I got 150 different messages
Yeah.
of people saying 50, 100, 150. But then turned out to be a cool guy. He said, we agreed on 5, so here you go. Cleaned it up, put it to good use.
I have one, two, three. I have 6 vices in the shop. Uh, most of them are only about that. I think 4 of them are only about that wide. Uh, I guess they'd call them hobbyist vices. They're small, they're old, and that's usually what I need, just little ones.
Yeah.
But I did not want anything happening to my grandfather's or my great grandfather's vices, so I built and had to mount them to my workbench.
Yeah, I only use tools that I don't want to keep just for what they are. If I think it's special or nice, I have a special drawer here. I put it in there and only take them out every once in a while to see if they're still okay. But I don't really use those. I was thinking that maybe it would be fun to use old tools that I've restored to restore old tools. But then usually I just find no, this one's too nice. Put it to the side.
I can say, is even though I've done some pretty decent work on some of these tools, none of them are true shelf queens. I have pulled old bit and braces out that I've cleaned up really nice. My grandfather's ones, where I put 100-year-old auger bits right up into them. I sat there and hand cranked drill holes. I made a A-frame for uh, my stepdaughter to be married under because they got married up in the up closer to the mountains. So I took wood, cut it, made a arch, I guess you want to call it. I call it a pyramid. Uh, then I torched the grain, hit it with steel wool to knock some of the rough burn mark down, then stained it. But to drill the holes, and then I built feet, and I put big carriage bolts through it, so that way I could put sandbags in front and around it, and then they could put the flowers. So no matter how gusty the winds got, it wasn't coming down. But I did the drill holes. I did all that with bit and brace. Uh, there was just, I don't know, working with it. I just had to go old school and do it the way my grandfather, my great grandfather would have done it. And I even took some of the stuff he taught me when I was a kid, and that's how I worked it. And I was like, no, they really liked it. Not sure if I ever did, whether I'd put a video up, because I know that I got started working on it and I was doing a video with it. And then as I progressed with it, I kind of forgot to pay the cameraman. And so the cameraman didn't do his job. I'm sure George understands that.
I actually just I think last summer, I used one of those Yankee screwdrivers for the first time in my life. I've seen lots of them, but I always thought that it was kind of awkward for using. I was just guessing, but when I used it, it was actually quite handy. So
Yes.
one around.
Don't know how well this is going to work. Yeah, I got one or two.
Yeah.
So got a few there. But the ones I started with were plastic. Then I graduated up to wood ones. Then I got the 130. I'm not going to release that because it won't fit in the picture. It literally, because you know how those screws extend out.
Yeah.
But one of the coolest ones I found is not Yankee. That's Yankee. That's Stanley. Oh, let's see if this shows up. It's Craftsman, but it's made in West Germany.
Okay.
Craftsman is a tool company from that I thought was just the United States. Most people know them from their screwdrivers like these. So yeah, to have a Craftsman tool that was not USA made, that was a little weird. I mean, I know they're.
That's mine.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
It's Stanley Works Sheffield.
Oh, so you got one from England then?
Yeah.
I don't have that because mine is. This now it got me curious.
And George, you're right. He was a great guy for keeping up the deal.
Oh yeah, yeah. All of my Yankees are actually. Oh wait, what do we got here? Nope, I lied. Nope, sorry, that's not a Yankee. That's not a Yankee. My Yankees are all U.S., but I do have one. What's this one? Oh, the solid metal version of it. But I have a ratcheting screwdriver. Oop, gosh, it helps if I did it that way. I have a ratcheting screwdriver that's in the Yankee style, and that one still needs a whole lot of work. I just tossed it in there. It is Pirlo, and that's made in England. I just haven't had the nerve to take that one apart yet.
But to me, it was very strange to find out that they actually work very well. Because I was figuring, I'm just going to try it. I have it lying around, see what it does. And I ended up using it on every screw on the project.
If you got one that's clean and running smooth, those things are so handy. Now, we're talking about, adjustables. I've got a couple. This is the biggest gimmick one ever.
Oh,
Guaranteed it'll round off every nut and not hold anything in.
I put some power on that one.
I know it's never going to snug up tight enough on a nut or bolt. It's going to turn around and shift, and it'll end up stripping the rounding the corners off.
Yeah, just the adjustables I get, I just find them fun to work on, because you can take them apart. A lot of times when they don't work just right, when you find them, they just need a little new spring in there.
Mm-hmm.
They're okay again.
I have some I can't work on. I have done everything I could. I have a diamond caulk and horseshoe, large. I think it's a 12-inch. It was my great grandfather's. I cannot get the screw to back out. I've soaked it in so many different materials. I've even used George may have to help me on this. I'm trying to be politically correct here.
Well, you don't have to be.
But it's 50-50. 50% acetone, 50% automatic transmission fluid, but it's got to be old school transmission fluid, not this new stuff. We call it, in older mechanics, we just call it panther piss, is what they've always called it. I had learned that when I was a little kid. But that always was able to, usually you get that, soak it in, it'll get in there, it'll free up anything. No, YouTube won't allow that right now. It's max of that. The only way to do that is for one to drop off and another one to come on. I've already researched, but there's got to be a program, like a sub program that I don't know whether it costs money or not. There's some auto mechanics I watch, Fluffy Mexicanic, and geez, I can picture their faces. It's a handful of auto mechanics, and I randomly catch their lives, and they'll have 2, 3, or 4 people up. So there's got to be a third party program that can be utilized and then sent up to YouTube to allow it to function. I've tried
doing it with free with George in there as well, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just haven't found the program And with everything going on recently, I have not had a chance to reach out to the guys and see. Let me do this. Because I know I've watched it where they've had a screen that had either 3 or 4 blocks on their with the guys, and they're all live and interacting. There's something called StreamYard, but I don't know if that's legit or not. Streamlabs says Streamlabs allows you to invite up to 4 guests to join your stream. You can add multiple collab cam sources for each guest and invite them through your link. OBS Studio, StreamYard, Restream Studio. I'll keep that tab up. I may have to dig into them and see if they're free or not free. That would be a cool way, because then I could do that.
Yeah. Well, this I thought it was just fun because we're just like how many miles apart? A couple of time zones.
Well, currently 5, but later in the year it goes out to 6 because we do that stupid daylight savings thing because of World War II and shift work, where people would kind of keep the daylight in check. Yeah, George is on to some. Now with WhatsApp, that would just be us BSing, right, George? Kind of like you, me, and Jesse did that one time.
Yeah, the thing you sent me, I couldn't find it. But then I saw your number, so I thought like just do it like this for to set things up.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my phone. So let me do this. WhatsApp. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's do this. Contact. Or, come on. I need to see. Okay. You know what I'll do? I'll just do it this way. And it won't allow a screenshot. Guess what? System doesn't know me too well. I have ways around that. I'll take a picture of it from my phone, from my other phone, and just crop it, and I can send it. I'm surprised it doesn't allow you to.
You cannot just send like an invite or something.
Yeah, I don't see it. Because I got you there, but it doesn't. It doesn't show a share. But I can't. Oh! I found it. It was hiding. Do that to there. Okay. George, I sent you in WhatsApp. I sent you his WhatsApp. So then, yeah, we could probably do that like that. But if we want to do a live with people, then I'll try to, well, when things slow down. And I'm not in the mood to play with the 8,000 things on my backlog list. I'll try to dig into these programs and see if any of them are, which one works best. Yeah, but we can still do that. That's still fun. Because then we don't have to. I don't have to. Anything can be said, and it doesn't matter. I don't have
YouTube,
to.
right?
I don't have to censor myself.
Yeah, I should get a fridge in my shop as well because I'm running out. So I don't know if my son is still looking, but Daddy's run out. He's studying, by the way. So
I got one of the taller dorm size refrigerators, so it's not big, but it's enough that it'll hold, I think, 64 bottles of beer. Ha, bad pun. I just thought of it as soon as I said it. I was like, oh gosh, the song started playing in my head. And no,
well,
they
that
don't
would be
fall down.
good enough, though. I was looking on making some snacks for myself on YouTube. You know how it works. You're looking at tools, and 2 minutes later, you looking at a video about how to breed alpacas or something. You know, you just go from one to the other. And I found this thing like it's an African meat snack, kind of like your beef jerky,
Mm-hmm.
but then from Africa, and you can make it your own. So, okay, you take like an old fridge or something. I can get my hands on that one, and you can put some heat on it and some lighting. And then I found out the store right over there actually sells it. So I bought some of it because I figured I don't want to make like 10 kilos of it and then find out I really don't like this.
Oh, I've done that. I've got two dehydrators in the house. Uh, I just don't like. Oh, George is gonna laugh. I don't like Southern jerky because Southern beef jerky is thin, hard as a brick, and you're gnawing on it. Being from up north, our jerky is thicker. It's almost like eating a small steak versus small hard bits. Uh, if I wanted burnt bacon with some flavoring to it, I just burn some bacon and throw some flavoring in it. I like the jerky we make up north because it's usually probably about that thick. It's usually about that big. It's like a small steak, and you just gnaw on it. Uh,
This is the other stuff. I think it's uh it's pretty thin,
yeah.
and somehow it saves rhinos. So I'm guessing it's not made of rhino meat.
oh,
Oh,
uh,
it isn't bad though.
I, well, obviously, since these are in the shop, I have no problem eating animals. As long as it was taken properly and legally, it it could be dinner. Uh, One thing I do like a lot, and my wife has tried, and so she wants to get down into down around the Louisiana area to some of the places I know out like bayou areas. Uh, she likes alligator now. Uh,
Yeah, that
very
would be hard to come by.
very tasty.
You have to go to the zoo to get an alligator, and they don't like it if you.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd probably frown on it, especially if they turn around and found it in being cooked up. Uh,
Would be a fun sight walking out with an alligator over your shoulder.
I got a picture. Uh, yeah, true. They said you put the oven on 250, lit the door cracked open. Basically a dehydrator. That's all it's doing is just slowly heating it up to get the moisture out of it. Uh,
He has the right idea about my son getting me a beer, but I think he's actually studying right now. Damn.
oh, deer jerky's awesome. Uh, up up north and up by the Canadian border, they make I think they call them TDs. Basically, it's like pepperoni stick made out of deer meat. Uh, I've got. We took deer roast and shredded up into little bits. We made put some barbecue sauce on it. We made barbecue that we just pile up on little hamburger buns out of deer meat.
Yeah, I went to this what over here is called a Texan style restaurant. I'm not sure if it even resembles anything Texan, but it said
I
that.
started to laugh because there was somebody did a video of a somebody from America went over to England and they went to a supposed Texas barbecue place. Oh no, actually, I know what it was. I know what it was. They're actually British. Josh and Jace. They're the guys that travel and do a lot of videos. They went to a place there in England, and they went. Well, they've been to Texas. They spent 3 weeks in winter up in Michigan. They found out, yeah, it gets a little chillier up there than in England. But they've been all over the country here trying different foods. Uh, but they went to a place there. I guess it was near London or something like that, and went to a supposed Texas barbecue place. They bit into it, and they kind of looked at each other like, "It's okay. That ain't Texas barbecue."
Yeah, I don't know if it stacks up, but I do remember they had this. It was like a starter, and it was called $1 million bacon. Now, luckily, it was a little bit cheaper than $1 million, but I was going like, okay, if this is the starter, we're in for a rough night. No, it was actually pretty good, but have to go there again. It was
Hey,
really like
don't
thick.
call don't call my swamp puppies fishy chicken. Says that's what everybody says. Everything tastes like chicken. Uh, yeah, there's very few meats out there that I don't like. I like elk, bison. Uh, we make we got hamburger from deer because it's low fat. Uh, you have to actually add some fat to get it to stick together, but oh, it's great because cows are usually kind of on the fatty side, anyways. But or add just a little bit of pork into it to kind of hold it together. Uh, but I've been putting deer burger or deer sausage into spaghetti all for many years, uh, trying to reduce the fat intake. Uh,
Why?
why? It's called health. Uh, well, actually, I've lost. Uh, since I saw George last year at Jacktown, I think I've lost 30 pounds since then. So I'm not down to about, I'm down to 285.
I wouldn't know. I think we have some
So
scales, but I haven't seen them in years.
I didn't have a choice. The boss went with me to a doctor's appointment, and that's all. That's well. Then all of a sudden it become a full blood workup, and then all of a sudden all all my stuff came back in the green except for I needed my uh, A1C. My glucose is fine, which but my A1C was a little high. Not too bad, but it was enough that I had to start watching everything I do. Uh,
I haven't seen a doctor for ages, and then earlier this year I had to go, and I don't like all that stuff. And he said, "Well, let's while you're here, let's get some blood work done and see what's bothering you." And it turned out I was thinking, okay, here we go, and came back and he said, "Well, That's not the problem. Everything's fine. So, like to hear that.
Yeah, my wife. It drives people nuts when they found out I went down to Louisiana to help our sister system after a hurricane. For 2 months, and down there everything's fried. Pretty, I would say 90% everything's fried food. I came back a week after I came back. I went and got blood work done. My cholesterol, perfect, right down the line. My good, my bad, my total. Everybody's like, but you spent 2 months. I said, yeah, you saw all the pictures of all that fried food I was eating. I was like, and my cholesterol is perfect. Denny, it's funny you said that because, hang on, not last night, the night before. Night before we had rain, I was heading back to the house, and we had a traffic jam out here close to the house. Somebody knocked the top of a wood fence down. I got three cows decided to go over the top of the fence. They were out in the middle of the roadway, so I had to yell at them and try to get them to get out of the road and get back down to the gate so they could get brought back in. Oh no, I got a 25-year-old pickup truck. I can throw a cow or two in the back, and nobody's gonna know it.
Yeah, we have a lot of cows here, but you don't see them in the road that much.
Uh, we got a ton of cows. We got a lot of critters out here, but yeah, our cows, they decide to get adventurous. And if somebody doesn't secure the gate properly, they know very quickly how to knock a latch and get out. They will knock a latch and get out. I guess it's because they've been around the gates long enough. They know how the gates operate, so they know if they don't get chained or locked in, they know they can go up there, either nudge it or hit a latch with their tongue and lift it up, and all of a sudden the gates open. Next thing you know is they're out free ranging on the fields nearby. I had fun a couple months ago because on my way to work, I had stopped because I saw a sheriff's car up in a tree line, and I was going to work before the sun went up. And all of a sudden, all I saw was blue lights flashing in a tree line. And so, oh my gosh, did he get into an accident? Because I thought he, was off the road. And then all of a sudden, I realized he was up a little dirt path going to the one of the farm fields, and he wasn't there. So I started driving forward slowly. There's a dozen cows right on the corner of a cross street in an open field, just chewing away, enjoying the outside of the fence.
Now, when I was younger and still in school, I did run into a steer once. We had to because we're Dutch, we had to ride our bicycles about 25 kilometers to get to school, and we found a little dirt road to cut off a couple of kilometers, and about halfway there was a steer standing there, looking at us, and the path was about as wide as he was.
I was gonna say, especially with horns, you kind of look at him and say, "Are you in a good mood or are you in a bad mood?"
What are we gonna do now? Well, we got there late, I can tell you that one, because we turned back and went around because not trying that one. Was fun though. I have to explain, why are you late for school? Well, there was a steer in the middle of the road. Sure there was. Why were you late?
I used to talk to one of my teammates up north, and some of my teammates up north, and I'd talk to them on the way home, and I just spout off all the critters that were crossing the road. Between the rabbits, the birds, we got bats flying, at dusk when I'm coming home. Possums, squirrels, raccoons. And then all of a sudden it would just be talking. I said, "Whoop, hang on, cow." I had to get on the brakes. Or, oh, horse. Uh, we have Highland cows just probably 3/4 of a mile up the street from us. Uh, they've gotten loose. I had to slowly push and guide with my work truck and uh, and get them back towards the fence. Then they had to get back in because I think it was last Tuesday. There were 6 horses right up on a big curve, right a couple miles up the road. Good thing is the one of the neighbors had saw it. He had already called the owner and said, "Hey, they got out of the pasture." But as soon as we yelled at them, they turned around and started trotting back over to the fence. They knew they were in trouble. They're like kids. They got caught. They knew it, so they were heading back home.
I'm in the middle of the city here, so that wouldn't happen. Um,
Uh,
I think someone thinks you're German.
no, I don't think it would be me. I'm from the U.S. and I'm not going to butcher it because I do not pronunciate it properly, and I know I don't. So go ahead and tell them where you're from.
I'm from the Netherlands.
See? I don't put the D into the TH.
I'm not even in the windmill or anything. And I have on regular shoes, not wooden ones.
No, I don't get half a cow or a full cow. Nowadays, it costs too much. Costs way too much. And being out here where it's aerial power lines, we get storms, we get power dips, so I'll lose a phase. Or if something trips, I don't need a freezer full of meat or 2 freezers full of meat. And I'm at work I'm away from home 14 hours. I don't need to have something happen, lose power, and then by the time I get home, and then I realize it a day or two later, that is uh is
I'm still.
I don't need to lose all that meat because right now I think half a cow is up around 1400, 1500,
I
and
wouldn't even.
that's
Half a cow here will be as much as a new car, I think.
so yeah. Well, that's a lot of meat to lose if I lose power.
We have like fuel prices going to the roof now over here because well, we have liters.
Yeah.
1 liter of diesel is now about. I think I just saw it was €2.60. That's almost the same as dollar. So
So that yeah, because we're basically, if we could just loosely call that three, that's basically, oh my gosh, that's gonna be about $12 a gallon. 11 to 12 dollars a gallon. And people over here are having a fit with the gas prices being around $3 a gallon.
my car doubles in value if I have a full tank.
My truck's so old, I can put antique tags on it.
I just saw a guy yesterday who was filling up a 1,000-liter tank he had on a trailer full of diesel. Well, we are in an all-time high now. It's like at record prices at the moment. So I don't know what he was doing, but I figure he had like a stolen bank card or something because
Oh,
prices being on record, and he thinks, well, I might get 1,000 liters.
I know that construction sites run the big tankers, and I know large scale farms run the big tankers. That way, the combines and all the harvesting equipment, they have that fuel on site. And it's
Yeah,
a
but this
crop.
is in a regular street, just regular little three or four pump gas station with his big tank. You spend about like half an hour on it.
It's probably because he found that that's probably the cheapest place he can actually get something and actually be able to fill it up. Because I know a lot of places, like, I think it was about 5 years ago, we couldn't fill our work trucks up because they would cut off at $1 amount. They
Oh yeah.
wouldn't allow a full fill up, so I'd only get a partial fill up. Then I'd have to wait to the next day, try to partial fill up again, but I've done burned off a chunk of it, so I could never maintain an actual full tank of fuel.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, they changed that. Usually they had a limit here too, especially at the unmanned pumps. You get a certain amount, and then it will just cut off. But because the price was so stupid high, they had to bump up the level a bit because people were getting half a tank and going like, okay, what happened here? Somebody sent a basketball.
George did. I hate to say it, George. Thank you, but I don't have a clue what a basketball is. That is, yeah, that's up here somewhere. I'm just happy I'm able to make a video work. He's gonna hassle me. Well, if he makes it to Jacktown, he's gonna hassle me.
Oh,
George,
well,
your small package, it'll be lightweight, is almost ready. But with Munchkin number 2 arriving like 2 days ago, I got a little further behind on getting packages together. I think you've already seen them, but my poker chips did come in.
yeah, before I start, I have to have my knot a bit up.
Yeah, that's.
I did like making all the shorts running up to this though.
Well, you're getting stickers, obviously, and a poker chip. But you are getting something small, but it's not tool related. Not at all.
See all kinds of stuff happening now. I kind of like this stuff.
Oh, we got dogs outside barking, so it's got these two whining. Oh, so yeah, yeah, it's not tool related, so it's not it's not something like that. Yep, not tool related. You'll like it. It's a shop mascot. Rest of Rob loosely knows. Uh, uh, he kind of has a rough idea. He vaguely knows kind of what it is, but he doesn't know what it is. That is the boss.
Uh-oh.
Because I think she's wanting me to come pick her up. Because yeah, she took got the kids and the grandkids back to the house. So they did that earlier today. So I think it's time now that everybody's got everything settled and everything like that. She's looking to get out of their hair to that way they can soak in the fact that now they've got Two little monsters to deal with.
I hope it takes a while for me to get there. My son just turned 18 last weekend, so I have plenty of time.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, it's a blast. It really is. Uh, it's rough on the wallet, but it's a blast because I find stuff, she finds stuff, and oh, we gotta get that for them. We gotta get that for them. We gotta get that for them.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna try to pretend that she's the big driving force between stuff picked up for the grandkids. Nope.
You probably get
Is
stuff to the house as well, mysterious bags and
I
boxes.
am guilty
What's
as anything. If I see something, I will let her know or say, hey, what do you think? Oh, let's get it. So since you're watching, Mrs. Bigfoot, you can comment down below since you saw that.
Well, my wife's working, so she's probably not watching, but South Turkey. Yeah, I wouldn't know how to get that here. But this is good. Starting to hear some feedback. Nope. Don't hear you. Think so. Hey, the beeping's gone. I hear nothing.
And now we're back.
I hear something now. Oh, I hear myself.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing distortions in the background.
Sounds like there's two mics close together or something. Is your phone close to the other one?
No. I deal with that all the time at work. Headphones off, speakers are off. Yeah, all speakers are off, connected, nothing's live. But I did bounce my live did bounce, so it kind of.
Yeah, I just hear a big beep somewhere. And an echo.
Yeah, whether I got a connection issue.
Oh, now the beep's gone. I wonder if you can still.
And I'm right back into the sports activation. I think my video and my audio is actually.
Now the beeping's gone. Oh, I have no idea. Sometimes the beeping comes and goes, but we could try sign language, but I have to learn it first. Yeah, it could be. It's a bit of a problem, I think. All right, but that would make it hard to hear, I think. Well, that didn't fix it. Yeah. Now I hear myself again in an echo. Yeah, it's going awfully quiet. And like the beeping sound is back again.
It's a high pitched beep. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call this one this time. Uh, I need to go get Mrs. Bigfoot picked up, get her brought home. She's had a very long day.
So I'm just guessing here, but I heard earlier you have to go pick someone up, and the audio being all dead, it might be a good time to call it. Yeah. We need to look into doing something like this again or something in a while. It was fun. I need to have some more beers though. One didn't cut it. Yeah. So you will go pick up your wife. I will wait about an hour and then I will go and pick up mine because she's working. And I'll send you a message later. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That would be fun. I'm talking. I don't even know if anyone's hearing it. So, okay. Okay. Well, you just go pick up the wife. Don't forget to enjoy the new grandkid, and we will talk to you later. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah. We have a joker over here. We have some technical difficulties. Yeah, I know what that's like. I'll be sure to get some more tools to work on. Maybe find some interesting stuff to show you guys, and we'll just have to do it again later. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get out of here because it's now only for the death. I'll see you later.